is just fantastic.
When it comes to those that live stream, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. There are many who do a more IRL casual format, who from time to time like to let slip just how privileged they are. That privilege tells us everything we really need to know about these take-for-granted types. A more prevalent theme with the younger generation, and I can say that now as I'm edging closer and closer to old. Certainly more so than these people who I'm surprised have made it as far as they have, and doubt they'll make it as far as I have, age-wise anyway. Because of this air of entitlement and taking for granted, when they do let slip, they get absolutely reamed for it. One of the most important aspects of growing as a younger creator, a streamer, a video producer is networking. So if you have a chance to take part in a larger group, you take full advantage of it. You sign that contract, you get that clout. In this, we're going to talk about Extraemilyy, who I believe was at one point, I don't know if they still are, a part of OTK. Although we do have a video where they may not be a part of it anymore, well, for much longer. Extraemilyy on recent live streams let a few things slip, and these few things got her into a bit of trouble, where her own chat end up cooking her, courtesy of AWK 20,000, because she didn't want to pay back her parents $140,000. Now, what was the $140,000 for? Tuition. Now, if you sign an agreement saying you're going to pay back $14,000 a year for 10 years to pay your parents back the tuition that they fronted so you could get the best education, you should probably consider doing that. When you let slip you have no intention of paying it back, and you are now a multi-millionaire, you come across as a pissy ingrate. Somebody who has taken the gift of your parents' hard work for granted, so you can be the biggest loser on the internet. And by the way, just because you have a lot of money, you have fame, success, reputation, doesn't mean you're special. It does though mean you're shallow, vapid, which means you lack integrity. So upon declaring she would not be paying back her parents the loan that she got from them, rather than a student loans company that would have undoubtedly fleeced her to high hell, her chat, as I earlier stated, cooked her. We're going to go through some clips of that now.
Yeah, it's fine. The only reason they want me to pay it back is because I'm a streamer.
Yeah, you should pay it back.
Because I didn't use my degree. So they're like, okay.
How much is it?
170K.
You should pay it back.
I don't want to.
Oh, so it's even worse than that. It's $170,000. This is tragic, really, isn't it, Emily? It's tragic because that's money your parents worked hard to make. And you, because you don't use your degree, you are a streamer, you signed an agreement which has been known because of your Discord, because of Reddit, saying you'd pay back X amount a year. You just don't want to. You are flush with coin. You can't say you're not. You are known to be. You come across as an ungrateful cowbag.
I mean, I did pay them 10K, and then I was like, I'm over this. I don't want to pay anymore.
I'm not the biggest fan of the term "I'm so over this," because it's quite a flippant attitude of, I don't want to adult, this is a stress I don't need because I can't grown up. Yet you're able to give them $10,000, which you spoke of in a very flippant manner, which tells me you are wealthy enough to continue to pay them back. As you should, because that is what you're meant to do. I know that there are parents who save up to send their kids to college, and they don't expect to be paid back for that because that is the dream of many parents, to give their children what they didn't have. But that's not the agreement you have with your parents, though.
Mom! Do you think it's a waste that I went to college?
That is a really good question. I spent a lot of money on that. And then you become a streamer.
Yeah, but I'm also helping.
That's a really good question. I don't know how to answer it.
Probably because she doesn't want to start a fight with you on a live stream by saying, yes, it is an absolute waste of a degree, but I don't know what your degree is in. Although, based on it being American, I will look down upon it as inferior grade education. Regardless, you were given the best that they could give you, and you did become a streamer. Now, it can be argued if you're not into the field that you studied, it is a waste of that degree. You realising your potential is not a waste, though, at the same time. If you base it on how much you can make in life, then fine, that is how you've determined your life's worth and value. You have done quite well as a streamer. Can't hate anyone for that. You should still pay your parents back, though, for wasting their time and money, because time is money after all, And I'll be honest, parents, regardless of you looking after them, they shouldn't be subservient to you because you hold the power, though in that respect, because of money, they should have their, well, pension pot replenished.
But I'm paying you back for college.
Yes, that's right. That's unnecessary.
That's necessary?
Yeah, we're almost broke. Because you went to the college. Go to the expensive one, yeah.
Oh, I can see why your chat didn't like you now. The look on your face. That says everything. That smarmy, smug, yeah, that's right, I took everything from you face. What you gonna do about it? That entitled, bratty, horrible-looking expression. That particular clip we've just gone through is one of 3 that were tweeted out, so we're going to continue with the other clips, because there's more.
Do you think that would be your best gift towards your dad or your parents? To pay back your tuition?
I'm never gonna pay it back though.
Wait, actually?
No, I don't want to.
But you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going
Wait, do you
to.
have student loans?
Yeah, student loans to my parents.
And you're making them pay it off?
No, like my parents paid, and then they're like, pay us back for college, and I just like don't want to.
I'm with the 2 guys in that car, 100%. If you ever take a loan out, yeah, you pay it back. If your parents pay it for you to give you the best start in life, when you're in a privileged position you're in, and you have an agreement as well, you should pay them back, 100% of it. In fact, you should pay it back with interest. We'll go with the variable rate just to really fuck you up with inflation. Not that that should be a problem for someone like you, who doesn't want to adult. The 2 guys in that car are rightly, quite clearly, irritated by what you've said.
But don't you think that would make them like really happy and proud?
No, they're
I'm-
fine.
Are you doing it kind of like almost out of spite? Because you're like, I don't want to because like I can, but I know that you guys don't need it.
Yes,
That's why you don't.
yes, they don't need it. And I'm
you
like,
don't need it.
I'm just a bad daughter.
If anyone's paying attention to the bottom left corner of that video, some of those comments calling her a cheapskate are accurate. Because why do the parents need their own money back when I can be trusted to spend it on their behalf? You sound like Scrooge McDuck. You sound like that loser who thinks that by having given your parents everything, they can now look after you, but you look after them because you own everything, so they don't have to own anything, which means you're in control of everything. You're the alpha in the family now. I'm somewhat impressed at your own ignorance towards typical cultural practices in this department. In America, this is not something that's deemed acceptable. You should know better. I bet some of you thought I was going to go with Asian there, didn't you? There are different cultural practices there, and I doubt she even has one clue about any of them.
No, you know what it is? It's exhaustion.
Yeah, I think I'm just exhausted.
It's exhausting. Listen, if it makes you feel any better, at least your parents still talk to you.
Yeah, my parents are cool.
I only got one left.
Like, my parents are like overall really happy and think I'm a good daughter.
You are a great daughter.
I'm sure they think you're the bestest of best daughters you could ever be. Fact remains, though, you're a loser. That makes a lot of money, and while there are many simps in your chat defending you, those calling you out and the people in that car that called you out are right to do so. You fretting and coping and getting a bit salty about it isn't going to change the perspective, because apparently, and it's a growing trend with younger folk who seem to have far too low an ability to comprehend, that optics here will never be on your side because you have essentially taken a dump on your parents for content. When it comes to parents, if they're not a part of your content, or if they've given you every possible start in life, regardless of what you've done with it, you must never speak ill of your own parents in that way. And you did, because you took what they gave you for granted and said, you don't need it anymore. I've got it. But you didn't use what they gave you for its intended purpose, as in using the degree they paid for to go and work in that field. As you had an agreement to pay them back, you should pay them back, and you certainly make enough money.
I don't know.
No, Arthur, what have you done?
They were very happy that I bought Cancun for them.
Let's go to...
I won't deny I'm loving the cope and seed here, but look at all these things I did for them. That totally justifies me not giving them back their money. You saying I don't know absolutely summarized your low comprehension. Earlier in this video I mentioned OTK. We have a clip of that as well where she discusses her contract. gonna play that here.
And like, even if I don't get a contract again, I'm still always OTK, baby.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
That felt like a soft subject, a sore subject, a sensitive one. But just before that, they said something quite interesting concerning OTK as a brand and those involved, because it greatly also demonstrates that many involved are hugely successful as streamers, in the top 10 in fact. If Extraemilyy is doing anywhere near as well as those, her successors, her predecessors even, her betters, then she can surely front up the money to pay back her parents.
I feel like OTK, we have like a lot of great people in our org, right? Like, there are so, like, our org is full of awesome streamers, right? I just wonder if it's like, if you feel embarrassed to say like, oh, I watched this person from OTK.
I mean, at one point we had 4 of the top 10 and the biggest girl. Really?
Yeah, Emmy's huge.
So
I don't like OTK.
like statistically, we literally destroy everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, understandably, there are other streamers, other creators who have responded directly to this because of how crappy Emily looks. We're going to insert one of them here.
I'm over
She's
this.
probably just farming. Wait, it's not
Okay,
a. It's
so
not,
what's
wait, it's not a bit. Wait, it's not a skit. What? Accurate. Wait. Of course, that's deleted. Classic. Multi-millionaire streamer Extraemilyy refused to pay back. Clickbait, inaccurate, and opinionated. I'm not gonna hate. It's just the point. They literally made her sign a paper saying she would pay back 14K each year back, and they still bring it up every time they see her. Consider how wealthy she is, should be at least doing that. What the fuck?
Now, in XQC's clips, he goes through a bunch of Discord posts as well, showing messages that got deleted, live stream chatters that get deleted, showing how people do damage control to protect Emily, essentially. It didn't work, but I can understand when you have large enough numbers how this works. He also goes on to talk about culture, because I earlier spoke of it through the American perspective. He went through the Asian perspective of how parents regard education, and he makes some really good points. I can't play here because I know damn well YouTube will flag it, but I will link the tweet that has the video down below. Now, Emily has recently put out a statement on her Twitter on the 6th of January. It's a little bit longer, and I'm going to read it from start to finish without interruption, no matter how much I want to insert snide remarks. I know. What are you on today, Meg? Froobs. I paid my parents back for my tuition. I realise how fortunate I am to be in the position I'm in, to have the means to provide for both myself and my family. Contrary to online belief, ever since garnering success as a streamer, I have ensured that my parents' lifestyle and needs are taken care of. I would never let them suffer. They are my parents who raised me. Regarding the clips of my mum and I, our humour was simply misunderstood and blown out of proportion. We have plenty of conversations off stream as mother and daughter, and what we say on stream is not representative of our whole actual situation or stance. Moreover, there are cultural differences at play relating to Asian family practices and how they raise their children that some may not understand. But that is a whole other intricate topic. It was my fault to bring it up in New York. I thought it would be appropriate to discuss, given that's how my parents and I always banter with each other, and I knew they'd be okay with being the butt of the joke, which they do to me too. We wouldn't be talking about such matters on stream in such a casual manner if we didn't have a solid relationship. Specifically regarding my college tuition, I'm going to be honest. I frankly would have stuck to my ways had this situation not happened, because I support my family through my parents through other means. But the feedback made me realise it's really not that hard to simply follow through on my word and pay them back. I'm committed to growing from this experience and will hold myself accountable in similar future agreements. Blah blah blah. Second tweet. For proof, I have attached a screenshot of the bank wire. The reason why it is not the full lump sum is because this is the amount agreed upon between me and my parents, and I can't financially pay the whole thing right now. But we also have a system set up for me to pay them in the future until it's paid off. I am moving past the situation and will continue doing my streams and content. Because this is the internet, there is no version of this where anyone would take what you've said as sincere. Moving beyond it is your way of saying, I'm so over it, and you're going to be considered someone that only did this because you got exposed. You can say how good your relationship is with your mother, You could trot her out in a video if you want, or a stream, and do the same. People will say it's a fake, that you're a fraud, and it will persist for the remainder of your time as a creator regardless. A black stain on your name for as long as you are an active streamer. It will die down one day, of course it will, but it will persist all the same. The more people dug into you and found out how crappy you are, the less believable this all became. You saying you can't afford to pay more back? Sure, I can believe that, especially if you live in an expensive area and you pay your taxes, which are of course theft. It is not my place to judge the sincerity of your statement, nor your actions going forward. It's for everyone else. Tell me in the comments. I think you're a moron. You paid 10k and decided not to pay more, and then you paid 45k, which tells us you have plenty to pay them. If money's so tight, here's an idea. It's a novel one. It's quite complicated as well, because it involves you setting up a resume, handing it out, and getting a job. So you can have a steady, stable income that doesn't fluctuate, because streaming does, where you can then, rather than surrounding yourself with yes men and mods that look out for you by protecting you from all the mean words on the internet, ensure that you, the smeghead, being the greatest of great streamers in waiting, can stop being a smeghead long enough to do what is right, rather than making what you call a jerk breh at the expense of your parents because they're in on it breh, to give more thought to the products you produce, the content you manufacture, and don't use your parents for easy clickbait farming nonsense, drivel, trash, trite, tripe. You're welcome. Have a nice day, everyone. I'm on Twitch later, by the way. I get like 15 to 16 viewers. I'm grateful for that, by the way. I'm not this smeghead. I swear I'm nice. Join us.